what would you say to a parent about how to help a child be that angry, but also know somewhere that they have the other side?
Well, I think partly it's what Gordon says, is that you have to acknowledge in yourself and grant yourself the right to have all these negative feelings yourself, so-called negative feelings. Just give yourself the right to have them without giving yourself the right to act them out. But just accept that they're in you, they're a part of you. As to the child, you need to also validate when they have such feelings. And say, yeah,
Yes.
you're very angry with mommy right now. You'd love to go outside and play, but I can't let you right now because it's 20 below, whatever it is. But there's no reason why a child shouldn't be angry. So we have to actually allow and make space for the child's upset feelings without making the child wrong for it.
It's interesting, though, you can do that with your words, but if you're not really doing it, the kid knows.
No,
Yes.
no, and absolutely, and communication takes place on two
Yeah.
levels.
Yes.
There's the verbal communication, then there's the body language communication,
And what's going on for you.
and what's going on internally,
Yeah.
and I'll say more about that tomorrow. But certainly, it's that level of non-verbal communication that actually sends the real message, not the words that we're using. So we not only have to say that we're okay with your anger, we have to be okay with their anger. And if we're not, and the people whose parents were not okay with their anger, I would used to meet them in the palliative care ward with cancer. Because the repression of anger is, I'm telling you, the major risk factor for cancer. Not that most physicians would even know what I'm talking about, but that's another issue. But that non acceptance of the child's dark side is one of the biggest wounds actually that we can inflict on a child.
Yeah, it seems to me that until you can kind of accept your own dark side, it's hard to.
Yeah, and then you have to accept.
When you see your child
Yeah.
suffering, you don't want it. You don't want to suffer. It's really about you suffering because you don't want them to suffer. It makes you suffer.
We can't really invite in someone else something that we have not
Yeah.
invited to exist in ourselves. But we can't really give a full invitation to a child to exist in our presence unless we accept all the emotions that come with that in them and in us. If I can't accept an emotion that my child stirs up in me, then I am not able to accept that child. And part of the problem, and as we try to sanitize our feelings, as we try to have children who are just simply happy and kind and considerate, is that they lose the vitality, they lose the passion. They need all of that spectrum, and we call them negative feelings. They're not negative feelings. They're how we're stirred up. The brain always has its reasons, and it's there. It's better if opposite feelings marry each other. And if they can marry each other, if they can come in this, we can find our way through in the middle. And that's where we are more civilized. So a large part of it is just taking an accepting attitude towards our own mixed feelings and our children's mixed feelings, not being afraid of them.